Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jess. If not, welcome back. So in today's video, I have kind of like a Shop My Stash where I kind of go through all of the products that I haven't really reached for, which is I think really interesting because I don't really have that big of a collection when it comes to like complexion products and blush, bronzers, highlights, concealers, things like that. So this really does give me a time to kind of go through those products and see, should I keep it? Should I throw it away, find a better home, or should I hold on to it and pull it to the front and use it more often? So I actually really love the way my eye look came out. I definitely never done something like this before, using kind of like these dark smoky colors with the blue winged eyeshadow liner, which is something that I think I'm gonna do more often. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoy this video, and if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. So for primer, I'm gonna start off with this Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. This is like a little deluxe size, and I haven't used this, I don't think, ever, and I've had this for probably a few years, so depending on how it works today, I might be decluttering this, but this is what it looks like. Put this all over the face. And I did already go in with skincare. So, it's just a little extra hydration. It actually feels pretty good on the skin. Moving on to foundation, I'm going to be going in with my Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. This is like a full coverage foundation. I bought this, 3 years ago and loved it, but I haven't used it in a long time, probably like 2 years. So I don't even know if this is still any good. It's really thick, as you can see. We're just gonna see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't break me out any more than I already am, because that would really suck. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this. It's like really full coverage and really thick. So I might have pumped too much on the back of my hand, but we're just gonna give this a go. I remember really loving this, but I just haven't reached for it in so long. It's definitely not applying as well as I remember it. It's just so thick and it's hard to kind of blend in and move around. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. I obviously need a lot more coverage than most, just because of all of my skin issues. And then the concealers that I'm going to be using are way too light for me, so I won't be able to kind of spot conceal with those just because those are a little too light. I mean, but it is covering pretty nicely. I mean, obviously it's not going to cover everything really well, just because my pigmentation is pretty bad. So I put 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and I wasted pretty much an entire pump just because this is such a full coverage foundation and it's so thick. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like full coverage. Obviously you can still see my imperfections, but nothing is going to cover those up. But it's just so much thicker than I remember it being, and I don't want to put too much on my skin, so less is definitely more with that. So you can definitely see it on my face, like it's not like a weightless kind of skin-like foundation. You can definitely see it sitting on the skin, but I don't mind it. And then for concealer, I'm going in with my ColourPop concealer. I've only used these once in my full face of ColourPop, and I wasn't really a fan, although I did get 2 colors that were way too light for me. I have light 12 and light 10. I'm gonna go in with, this is already starting to kind of like separate, so probably shouldn't be using this. But I'm gonna go in with light 12 just because it's slightly darker than light 10, and light 10 is too light. So wow, I'm just gonna have extra bright under eyes today. Put a little bit more. Alrighty, doesn't look too terrible. And then for powder, I'm going back to like my holy grail back in the day. This is the Coty Airspun. You can get this at like Walmart, I think, for maybe like $4 or $5. It is highly, highly fragranced. So if you don't like super strong smelling things on your face, or you're sensitive to smell, I don't suggest this at all. But it is a really nice powder, and it's super affordable. So that's, if you're looking for something affordable, this is a good one. Then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and go all over the face. It's definitely a matte foundation, so if you have dry skin, I don't know that you'll like that Becca foundation. I'm going to have to spray my face with a lot of setting spray, my face is feeling a little tight. For blush, I have this Wander Beauty bronzer and blush duo in the shade, I think it's just Trip for Two. And I bought this for a video. I can't remember what the video was, but I bought it for a video and I just didn't pick it back up. I didn't really find the color to kind of like last on the skin, but hopefully maybe this will be its second shot at life. But I'm just going to take this here on a blush brush. I remember it being really pigmented, so I'm going to tap off my brush. Yeah, it is very, very pigmented, but still really nice. And then I'm also going to use the bronzer from this palette as well. I'm going to take my Rephr P22, which is a really big fluffy brush, just because these are pretty pigmented. Oh, that is so much kick up. Now I know I don't reach for these that often. I'm going to go back in with my blush brush and just kind of go back over it. No additional product, just to kind of mesh those two together, the bronzer and the blush. And then take what's left on that blush brush and tap it over the nose. Doesn't look terrible, but not my favorite. And then moving on to highlight, I have this Too Faced Glover. This was a limited edition. I know that they have I think they came out with a bronzer as well in this line, and I really wanted to get it, although I don't know if they still have it, but since Sephora's having their sale, maybe I might pick it up. But look how cute this is. I don't reach for this one because it's not a very strong, like, blinding highlight, and I just don't want to mess up the cute packaging, but for the sake of this video, this is something that I don't reach for, so I decided to use it. It's not a terrible highlight. As you can see, it does have payoff, but I would prefer something a little bit brighter. And the color is a tad light, but I don't mind it. It's actually coming off really nice on camera. Maybe I should use this more often. This is also a good way to let me see, like, should I declutter it? Should I keep it? You know, since these are products that I definitely don't use very often, it's a good way for me to kind of peek back into my collection and really use stuff that I like that I forgot about. I really like this highlight, actually. Maybe I will pull it out and use it. For setting spray, I like to set my face before moving on to the eyes, and I'm going to go in with my Morphe X Jeffree Star Set and Refresh Mist. I don't think I've ever used this, so we're going to give it a go. Smells like artificial strawberries, which makes sense considering it's called Starberry. That continuous mist is amazing. Moving on to eyes, I have a couple of options here. I have the Tom Ford White Suede from Nordstrom that I bought in, I think, a haul video, or for a haul video, and I've never used it. I've only swatched it, which is kind of crazy. And then I also have this NARS palette. I don't know the name of it because the sticker came off, but it is this really pretty palette here. Obviously not something that I would use every day, but I got it at TJ Maxx for super cheap and never used it. So I'm gonna start off with the Tom Ford palette and then we'll go from there. So the shade is a little bit lighter than I was expecting it to be, so I'm gonna build it up quite a bit. Okay, and then for my next shade, I'm going to take the darker brown here and throw that into the outer corner. These are definitely more on the like satin side. There's really no mattes in this palette, but I don't really mind that. I really like this shade. Such a nice like deep brown. I'm gonna go back in with my initial brush just to blend those two together. And then for my lid, I think I'm gonna go into this NARS palette and use this shade right here at the top. And just use my finger and put that all over the lid. It's a beautiful like duochrome color. Might be a bit too dark, we'll see. That is so pretty. It's like a greenish, bluish, like dark red shift to it. So pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of a smaller brush and go back into that dark brown in the Tom Ford palette and layer that back up on the outer corner. I definitely took the shimmery red shade a little bit higher on the left eye, so I'm gonna do the same on the right. Just to kind of even them out. And then go back in with the brush and that dark brown color and go back over it. It's turning out a lot smokier than I wanted it to, but that's okay. No going back now. And then back in with that initial brush, going back in with that lighter color from the Tom Ford palette and blending those edges out. And then I think I want to use some of the blues. So I'm going to go in with the blue from the Tom Ford palette and a little bit of the two browns and go along the lower lash line, I think. I'm going to do that. So first I'm going to go in with the mix of the two browns. And then taking kind of like a liner brush and going into the blue. I'm going to really push this close to the lash line. It's getting in my eye, so I'm gonna wet it a little bit with the Morphe setting spray. Maybe that'll make it stick a little bit better. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. And I'm not going to take that all the way in, just doing it on the outer portion. And then I think I am going to also try and line my upper lash line with this. I'm going to attempt. Just really stamp it up there. Just to kind of tie it all together. Again, not taking it all the way in, just about 2/3 of the way. And then I'm going to wing it out just a tad. Can you guys see that? So pretty. Alrighty. And then for the inner corner, I think I'm going to go in with this shade here and pop that on the inner corner. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too pink, but we shall see. Again, I'm going to wet the brush with the Morphe setting spray, just so that it sticks a little bit better. Wow, so sparkly. Then I think what I'm going to do is put black eyeliner on the top and bottom inner rim. Actually, I think I'm going to go in with this NARS liner in the shade. Now that I've got the eyes eyeshadow done, what I'm going to do is go into mascara. I think I've only used this a few times. I don't ever really reach for colored liners, so I'm going to put this on the waterline and then I'll do black on the top line. I'm gonna have to look into my mirror for this. Putting this blue on the waterline just really made it pop. I hope that you guys can see that on camera. Some of these products I really do need to use more often because, man, they are so good. For mascara, I am going to use my Beauty Counter. Now I am a rep for Beauty Counter, but this mascara just, I don't like. This is their volumizing. They have one lengthening and one volumizing, and I've got the volumizing. Not my favorite. I don't find that it gives me length or volume. So I'm just going to apply 2 coats and we will move on to lips. So those are the eyes done. Again, the mascara is not my favorite, so clearly I don't have like amazing lashes at the moment. But moving on to lips, I have 5 Jeffree Star lip liners that I just never reach for, and I've had these. I bought these when they first launched a few years ago, and as you can see, some of the colors are very, very similar. So I'm going to pick one of these. Leo and Mannequin are so similar. Leo is just slightly more brown, which is this one here, and this one is Mannequin. Why I got both is beyond me, so I'm gonna go with Leo and just quickly line my lips. I'm gonna go ahead and fill them in as well. I really like this color. I don't know why I don't use this more often. And then for the color on top, I have 2 of these Charlotte Tilbury. These are like, I forgot what they're called. I'm not sure what these are called, but they were limited edition. These are like her glosses that they came out with the Icon palette, I believe. I have the shades Belle de Soir and Dirty Dancer. I think I'm going to go in with Belle de Soir, which is the lighter one. I thought that I would get a little bit more use out of these than I have been. I think I've only used it maybe, I know I've used this one maybe once or twice. This one I think I just used in the video that I filmed with this, but the smell on this was so weird. It wasn't really well received just because it smells terrible. But the formula isn't bad. The doe foot applicator is nice. I don't know why I don't reach for these, and I love gloss, and this is kind of like a mix between a lipstick and a lip gloss, so I should definitely reach for these more. Ooh, I don't know that I like that color with this look. I'll just blend it in. Might have been a little too light. And there we go. This is the finished look. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I actually had a lot of fun filming this and kind of playing with all of these things that I kind of forgot about. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to click that subscribe button down below and join my YouTube family here. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at noon. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, bye guys. guys.